And we are back. It's been a week. I wouldn't say it's been a long week, but it's definitely been a week. I personally had an amazing holiday, and I hope everyone listening today, or whenever you're listening, is doing amazingly. Today, Friday, 24th of June, and we have some massive news to catch up with. And also some fairly important news for the future of the podcast. Don't worry, it's all good news. I'm hoping you're all going to like this. But I'd say first let's go on to the headlines. So, Slack has filed a competition complaint against Microsoft in the EU, saying that they have reverted to past behaviour. More on that. The Xbox game show was absolutely incredible, and we are finding out a heck of a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out, if not on launch day, then around launch date. Yeah, it's a big launch lineup, but it's not all on launch date, or at least as far as we know. For all we know, it could all be on launch date. And then, in some kind of rumour, speculation, news, so this is unsubstantiated, these two pieces. The first one is code in macOS Big Sur, which suggests Face ID could be coming to Macs. Oh dear. Why? I love... This is why I will never get an iPhone. Face ID. It is literally probably the only reason I will never get an iPhone. They could add every single feature that Android has. It could literally be a carbon copy of Android. I need a fingerprint scanner. I just prefer fingerprint, and I feel it's more secure. And one of Samsung's app has confirmed that their new earbuds will be called the Galaxy Buds Live, as well as featuring noise cancellation. It's that's kind of, it makes it a lot more official, and of course we will find out all the official details on 5th of August at Galaxy Unpacked. So, those are the headlines for today's episode. And yeah, I think we're going to go straight into the headlines, and then, let's do it all in one go. So, stuff about the podcast, because I figured it's important. There's a website, dynamicdigitalworld.co.uk. I will have a link in the description of this episode and in the description of the podcast. And I am also thinking and probably going to be releasing a few new podcast channels. Those will not be coming out today, they will be coming out in time, and they won't be posted to every day like Dynamic Digital World is. So, the three I've kind of got floating around my head is Dynamic Digital Dive, which will be shortened to Digital Dive, because Dynamic Digital World is different to Digital Dive. So, Digital Dive will be where I go really kind of in depth. So, if you want to learn the difference between a 64-bit and a 32-bit processor, you want to learn maybe the difference between Wi-Fi standards, like kind of niche things that you wouldn't really think you want to know until you learn it. At least that's my experience when I learn it. Those are the kind of things that I'm going to go over on that channel. Then on another one we called Android Analysis. So that's going to be kind of all news on Android and Android phones. So any Samsung phones, Huawei, it depends on what happens with them. Android. So anything basically Android related, developer previews, more in depth. And then also Apple analysis as well. Deciding between two names, I just decided right now, Apple analysis. Same thing as it is with Android's analysis, but for iOS and iPadOS. The reason it's Apple analysis and not, say, iOS preview, which is the other thing I was thinking of, is because iOS preview is actually used by Apple for their previews, and I don't know if that will come up as a copyright, so Apple analysis is what I'm going to go for. These names are subject to change, as these are not the officially released podcast names at this time, but that's what I'm thinking of. So Android and Apple analysis, those two channels are about the mobile operating systems and new phones on those operating systems. Digital Dive, really in depth about really technical stuff, so things like your processors, as well as just general guides to different processors for when you're buying. Android analysis is one that I am probably going to be sticking with, and an episode will be coming out hopefully by the end of next week. Also, all 3 of these channels are completely experimental. It is entirely feasible that by the end of summer holidays I may decide to shut them down just because I don't have enough content or enough to do. Also, don't worry about Dynamic Digital World, it's going nowhere. It will cover all of the news exactly as it does currently. So you have nothing to worry about in terms of, say, losing your Android news on here or your iOS news on here. Everything will still be on here, it will all be exactly the same. It's just, when I'm, say, going into a new Android update or something, I may go, if you want even more in-depth, then go over to Android analysis. Or say I mentioned something to do with ARM processors or Apple Silicon, I'll mention go over to Apple analysis. I'll mention either go for the Apple thing, Apple analysis, ARM, digital dive. So I'll have I'm not going to be pushing out loads one every day, because I need some time to work on the new website. Currently it is very bare bones, just title, podcast logo, and how to listen on Spotify. That will be changing. I'm already working on a complete redesign. I just kind of wanted to get the website up and running as quickly as possible. So I figured, hey, a web portal for you to show your friends to if they want it. Also, more links will come to that website. So I'm not just going to say, okay, cool, these are the links we've got, this is what we're going to stick with. More links will be coming at some point. So, yeah, that's everything for kind of the podcast. So, I say let's get into headlines. This is Dynamic Digital World. My name's Luke. Let's get started. I always forget to say, I kind of been forgetting to say that recently. So, Slack and Microsoft. Oh, I hate you, Slack. Sorry, a bit harsh. Slack is good, but oh my god. This article annoys me, not because I'm a huge Microsoft fan or because of any of that. I use Linux as my number 1 operating system, swapping over to Windows every month, maybe 1 or 2 times a month when I'm just doing something on my phone, or I may play a game. That's there. Slack has forwarded a complaint against Microsoft for Microsoft Teams. Now, before I go into anything about this, Slack at one point said that Microsoft Teams was not its competitor. And in fact, it is said that it's persistently claimed Microsoft Teams is not a true competitor, largely because it's more focused on video calls and meetings. However, it's definitely not true, and Slack and Microsoft are caught in a battle for the future of workplace communications. Yeah, I don't like Slack. This is the reason why I don't like this, and I don't think Slack can, and why I think that EU should just throw this entire case out immediately. In my opinion, Slack is claiming that Microsoft isn't competition, whilst now saying that Microsoft is competition. If they were true competitors, they would have admitted it a long time ago. The only reason they actually became competitors is because Slack recently built in video and audio calling to its application with its partnership with Amazon. They are now directly. So Slack's Slack's statement basically says that Microsoft's illegal and anti-competitive practice. It's basically saying they're using anti-competitive practice of abusing market dominance to distinguish competition. Saying that Microsoft has illegally tied Microsoft Teams to Office and is force installing it for millions. Firstly, it's Microsoft product suite. As far as I'm aware, they're allowed to tie whatever product they believe into whatever product suite they want, and it can also be downloaded separately as far as I'm aware. However, I don't know if it can be uninstalled on its own. That is a completely different issue. Now, this is a quote from the General Counsel at Slack, David Shellhays. Start quote: Microsoft is reverting to past behaviour. They created a weak copycat product and tied it to their dominant Office product, force installing it and blocking its removal. A carbon copy of their illegal behaviour during the browser wars. End quote. Oh, no, sorry. No, during the browser wars, Slack is asking the European Commission to take swift action to ensure Microsoft cannot continue to illegally leverage its power from one market to another by bundling or tying products. End quote. Okay, I see a couple of things that I do agree with on this. Browser wars. So for those of you who don't know, I can't remember what it was. I think it was late 90s, early 2000s. Microsoft was actually sued and forced to change some slight things regarding how Internet Explorer came pre-installed in Windows. So basically, Microsoft had previously had an agreement with Netscape Navigator. They then made Internet Explorer, and they actually made an agreement. Netscape and Internet Explorer and Microsoft actually had a sort of agreement, as far as I'm aware, but Microsoft was not obliged to. Wasn't really obliged to do what they were doing previously, which is not giving as such, but helping their competitor in the market, because they are helping a competitor, which is not good for them. Or they were at the time. Netscape no longer exists and was crushed by Internet Explorer, which is a sad thing. However, this is different. This is very different in my opinion. That was literally, there was no way to stop yourself from installing it or to stop it from being installed at all. This is different. They tied it into Office. Okay, you know what? If I install Office and my workplace is using Teams, which I probably would if I was using Office, I wouldn't go to Slack to then do this sort of thing whilst having Office and all of the benefits that come with Office. It just makes no sense. I get Teams included. Why would I go outside of my ecosystem to go somewhere else? Some may say that's exactly why this is wrong. Personally, it ties in well with everything. If it ties in well, and it's relatively easy to use, then I don't have a problem with it. However, I do see why some others may. So, But also, another thing that I really hate about this is just Slack is merely doing this, as far as I can tell, because they're losing. It's literally the reason for this entire thing. Slack started losing. Now, Microsoft claims Slack doesn't have the breadth and depth to reinvent work, while Slack CEO this kind of makes me laugh a bit, has said that Microsoft is unhealthily preoccupied with killing us. Slack? Take note, Microsoft Teams is a very small percentage of Microsoft's business. Now, this is a quote from a Microsoft spokesperson. Start quote: "We created Teams to combine the ability to collaborate with the ability to connect via video, because that's what people want. With COVID-19, the market has embraced Teams in record numbers, while Slack suffered from its absence of video conferencing. We're committed to offering customers not only the best of new innovation, but a wide variety of choice in how they purchase and use the product. We look forward to providing additional information to the European Commission and answering any questions they may have." End quote. The fact is, that's true. Slack didn't originally have video conferencing. As far as I'm aware, I believe it does, but I'm not going to say I'm 100% sure. Teams has had it almost since the beginning. I think it may have actually had it at the beginning, but I'm going to say almost just to be safe about it, as I don't want to make any false statements. Now, this is kind of ironic though, because when Microsoft Teams first came into competition, it was 4 years ago, and Slack actually paid for a full-page newspaper ad to welcome them to welcome Teams as a competitor. A year ago, Microsoft overtook Slack in terms of usage, and you know what? It's had a big user numbers since the pandemic-related demand. Again, understandably. Now, this is 2 days ago, and there was another earnings call later today, so I haven't heard. But back in April, Microsoft revealed it had 75 million daily active users for Teams. Now, back in October, Slack revealed it had 12 million daily active users. That's compared to 75 million from Microsoft. However, they've not updated this number since. However, it did break user records back in March as more businesses turned to remote working. Personally, so the browser ballot screen was the last time Microsoft faced a formal antitrust investigation in Europe. So they haven't been faced with anything at all. As in my opinion, they didn't really deserve to be after 2008. So for those who don't know, it was 2008 actually. I had completely the wrong time for that. I thought I remembered another antitrust case long before then, but maybe I'm thinking wrong, or maybe I'm right, I can't remember. It was basically where they were forced to offer a browser ballot choice after bundling Internet Explorer with Windows. Personally, again, their decision. That one is a bit wrong, I think, in terms of bundling it. I understand it on a phone, you need a browser bundled in order to start surfing the web. It just makes sense, and you do need a browser bundled, but you do need to also make it easy for others to install them. Not that complaint has been upheld in any future version of Windows after Windows 7, as far as I can tell. When you install Windows, you don't get prompted with that anymore. They're just turning a blind eye now. So, I don't know, in my opinion, that was a bit silly. That they ever had to include browser ballot screen. But I can understand it. This, however, this is... Okay, from here on, it is completely my opinion. Nothing in the article from The Verge, nothing dated as fact. This is Slack going petty because they're losing. The fact is, Slack haven't updated their user numbers, implies they're doing bad. Motive, they're doing worse and they want teams to be handicapped. Opportunity, they have precedent for Microsoft doing something similar to this in the past, and so we can use that precedent to then say, oh, they're doing it again, look at what they did here, it's very similar. In fact, the circumstance, what it may seem similar on the surface, is different. And 3, means. Yeah, something using motive opportunity means it's a common thing when you're investigating something or looking into something. Means they literally had to file a complaint with the European Commission. It was not hard to do when you're a big company. File a complaint after getting a few ducks in a row. See what you can do. Yeah, so it's all fairly simple stuff for them to do. And they have good reasoning to do it and good opportunity. I personally am hoping nothing comes out of this, as Slack is being petty in my opinion. They've waited until they're doing this in the middle of a pandemic, where Microsoft has surged while Slack has fallen, because they don't have, or at least originally did not have, video conferencing. In my opinion, if you don't have video conferencing and your competitor does, that just makes your competitor better. I personally would use Teams over Slack any day. I have tried them both, and I actually tried Slack out on its merits because of kind of Slack's complaining about Microsoft Teams being anti-competitive. Truthfully, I don't find it to be anti-competitive in the slightest. I find it to be a very nice product, and the fact is it does have differences to Slack that can be counted. It also makes it much easier to say set up a team, and I find grouping things in Teams a lot easier than I find it in Slack. Personally, I'll use Discord over either. You can send files in Discord, and you can do a lot of stuff in Discord that you might not realise. So, yeah, that's just my opinion on it though. As I say, you may have a completely different opinion. But, hey, we'll see where this goes. I'm personally hoping it doesn't go anywhere too fast. Geez, we're already 20 minutes in. Okay, let's go into the games lineup for the Xbox Games Showcase. This is a massive lineup. So, there are 22 games being built to launch exclusively on Xbox consoles. 10 of these are world premieres, and nine are, and they're also projects from 9 of the 15 Xbox Game Studios, as well as several of Xbox's partners. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about today is Halo Infinite. Holy, sorry, I watched all of the trailers for this one now, especially. This game is a beauty. I am loving the look of this. The Halo ring inside of it is several times bigger than the last 2 Halo games combined. So Halo 5 and Halo 4, combine it, several times bigger than that. It's a massive exploration in this one. Yeah, to be honest, I think I actually need to replay. I've got all of the Halo games through Master Chief Collection through Game Pass. There is some incredible news about Game Pass coming in today as well. But it's going to be 60 frames per second, unlocks for campaign gameplay. But it's going to be absolutely amazing. No, as far as I'm aware, that's 60 FPS. It's only on Series X. I haven't heard anything about One X. If I hear anything, I will let you know. We now had 10 world premieres, but I'm going to go through some of these I was completely not expecting until I read through it. And I believe all of these are at least a launch game exclusive. So the first one is As Dusk Falls. It's Xbox Game Studios, Interior/Night, which is a new studio comprised of a mix of award-winning industry veterans as well as emerging new talent. Now it's going to be As Dusk Falls is going to be a multi-generational story set in the American Southwest. It'll be about things such as resilience, sacrifice, and how mistakes of older generations transmit to the younger. So it'll begin as a focused tale of 2 families trapped in a hostage situation and become a sprawling epic about how people grow and change over decades. Obsidian have announced a new RPG called Avowed, and it's set in the fantasy world of Eora. We don't really know much about this, it was just a tease for a game coming soon. Playground Games have announced Fable. Notice how I kind of said Playground Games before Fable, because it's a complete new beginning. Now, lots of people were hoping there would be a new Fable game at some point. Fable, it's described as a new beginning for a legendary franchise. Explore a land of fantastical creatures and wondrous places. Developed by Playground Games for Series X, Windows 10, as well as Xbox Game Pass. Again, I'm not sure about One X. We don't have a date for this, so I'm assuming it may be a Series X exclusive. Forza Motorsport, Turn 10 Studios. They haven't said a Forza Motorsport 8, but as far as I'm aware, this is probably going to be equivalent to that. Again, with Series X, it's about speed and immersion. There will be things such as ray tracing, 60 FPS, 4K. It's a dynamic world where everything is connected apparently. Surfaces of cars reflecting off each other. Red paint will be reflected off of detailed track surfaces, as well as light and shadow interplay. It will again be on Series X, Windows 10 and Game Pass. The Gunk by Thunderful Publishing. This is not by an Xbox Game Studios brand, and it's from the creators of Steam World franchise. The action series that The Gunk is an action series. Steam World franchise. So Steam World is an action series that tells the tales of Steam-driven robot adventures that have garnered more than 100 awards and nominations. This new game called The Gunk is about embarking on an all-new adventure in a vast and exotic world where you will encounter terrifying enemies, as well as challenging puzzles to unravel the mystery of a forgotten planet while saving it as well. Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, created by Sega, will be coming in 2021. It's the first one I've actually read that has a release date, apart from Halo Infinite, which will be holiday 2020. Phantasy Star Online 2 is well known for its unparalleled character customization and battle action. However, there is going to be a new entry to this universe called Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. Stalker 2 by GSC Game World is an award-winning PC franchise loved by millions of players and is making a true next-gen console debut with Stalker 2 on Xbox Series X. They're going to be a unique blend of first-person shooter, immersive simulator, and horror. Data Decay 3, back to Xbox Game Studios. Undead Labs is the next round of Evolution's Data Decay and currently in development. It will bring a new ultimate in zombie survival simulation. That's all we have on that, not much. Treacherous Effect Connected is being developed by a company called Enhance and will be released in holiday of 2020 launch, most likely. It's the original game with new co-op and competitive online and local multiplayer modes. Apparently it's treacherous like we've never seen it, heard it or felt it before, and is incredibly addictive, unique and breathtakingly gorgeous and a reinvention of one of the most popular puzzle games of all time. Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide Fat Shark 20 by Fat Shark in 2021. This is from the developers of the multi-billion award-winning co-op franchise Vermintide. Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide is a new 4-player co-op game set in Hive Tertium where you fight with your friends against a horde of enemies in a new Warhammer 4000 adventure. Some updates on some fairly well-known games include Crossfire X by Microsoft's Smilegate Entertainment. It's a legendary PC franchise that comes to console in a fast-paced first-person shooter with a variety of exhilarating multiplayer experiences as well as a cinematic campaign that explores the global conflict between the world's two most formidable private military factions. There we go. Destiny 2 Beyond Light. Destiny 2. This is not what I saw coming when I heard about this. I wasn't even expecting anything to be announced at the thing as far as I'm aware. Bungie has said what they wanted to say. There's a lot more than I was expecting. So, Destiny 2 Beyond Light is the next version, is the next chapter in Destiny 2. And you may even start to learn how to wield the darkness itself to bring down the Empire at any cost. I think that just means the darkness, but anyway, Destiny 2 is also coming to Xbox Game Pass in September. So you get access to all current Destiny 2 Standard Edition expansions, including the Standard Edition of the upcoming Beyond Light when it releases this November. So, just to clarify that for you, a couple of years ago, Bungie made Destiny 2 free to play. Now, if you're on Xbox, it is completely free. Like, as long as you have Game Pass, it's completely free. Holy! Absolutely incredible. I was not expecting any of this. This is absolutely amazing. So, I'm not reading through this for the first time, but I'm still so hyped by this. I'm so looking forward to this. I don't know if it's coming to Game Pass for PC. I'm not sure which ones this is coming to, but wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say apart from it's incredible, to be honest. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Beyond Light, I will be playing. Hopefully, I can actually finish. What's it called? Whatever the latest expansion is. Please forgive me. I haven't really had much time to play games recently. Everwild by Rare. So we heard about this originally at E3 last year as a brand new game in development from Rare with unique and unforgettable experiences. It will again be available on Series X, Windows 10 PC and Xbox Game Pass. And if you're wondering, then Grounded is releasing in 4 days on July 28th. You'll be able to take part in the development of your next favourite game, as it's going to be a co-op survival adventure game, where a narrative-led hook and it's going to bring the backyard to you. So elements with the RPG world will be combined with survival world, and you and up to 3 other players explore the backyard from the perspective of an ant to piece together how to return back to normal life size. Along the way, you'll run into both peaceful and very hostile insects, fighting to survive right behind the house. You'll gather, you'll craft, you'll build bases with everyday objects you find in the yard, or just feed your friends to spiders. It's up to you. The Medium by Bloober Team, coming in holiday 2020. It's a dark mystery only a medium can solve. Travel to an old communist resort and use unique psychic abilities to uncover disturbing secrets, solve dual reality puzzles, encounters with sinister spirits, and explore 2 realities at the same time. This will be coming in holiday 2020 as just stated. The Outer Worlds Parallel Gorgon, private division Obsidian Entertainment. It's a substantial amount of content being added to the Outer Worlds' darkly humorous universe. It's a brand new noir-tinged adventure that takes players to the Gorgon asteroid to investigate the mysterious origin of Adrena Time. While there, you'll find new weapons, armor, perks, flaws, along with the same freedom to solve problems that made the original game so rewarding. Those who grab the Outer Worlds with Xbox Game Pass will get this and future adventures, or the expansion pass packaging both adventures for an extra 10% off. So not included as far as I'm aware, but you can get 10% off. Psychonauts 2, Xbox Game Studios, Double Fine. I'm unaware of this is an Xbox exclusive. I believe all of these are. I will update that in tomorrow's episode for you. I believe there may be some that aren't Xbox exclusive. So Destiny 2 is not Xbox exclusive in itself, just for part of that. It's going to be on Game Pass, Destiny exclusive. Now, Psychonauts 2 is a mind-bending trip through strange worlds, hiding inside our brains. So, Special Agent and Acrobat Extraordinaire Raz returns to unpack emotional baggage, as well as expanding mental horizons. He'll help new friends, like a magical mote of light voiced by Jack Black. Raz uses his powers to unravel dark mysteries about the Psychonauts team and his own family origins. Tell Me Why is from Don't Nod Entertainment and is by Xbox Game Studios. Tell Me Why is a new Xbox Game Studios exclusive game from Don't Nod Entertainment, the studio who created Life is Strange. Now, you'll play as twins Tyler and Alison Ronan, enjoying memories of their joyful but troubled childhood in beautiful small town Alaska, using the supernatural bond that allows twins to interact with memories of past, choose memory paths to determine the outcome, and uncover their personal story across 3 chapters beginning August 27th. Other things that are Summer Game Fest reveals. So, Balan Wonderworld by Square Enix. It's an action platformer game themed around the Balan Theatre, led by the maestro named Balan. The stars of the show, Emma and Leo, use special abilities from a multitude of colourful costumes as they adventure in a bizarre and imaginary land of Wonderworld. Memories and visits from the real world, all mixed with things that people hold dear. 12 different tales await the stars in Wonderworld, each with their own unique quirks. They'll explore all corners of these labyrinthine stages filled with a myriad of tricks and traps. We currently have no release date. Also, most of these do have no release date. Things that do, for example, Outer Worlds, Parallel Gorgon, that's September 9th, and Tell Me Why is August 27th. If it has a release date, I will say the release date. Speaking of things with a release date, we have Dragon Quest 6S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. Talk about long names. This is by Square Enix and is coming on December 4th of this year. The legend is reborn in this all-new grand adventure as the revered Dragon Quest series makes its debut on Xbox with Dragon Quest VI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. This game follows the perilous journey of a hero who must uncover the mystery of his fate and save the kingdom from menacing darkness with the aid of a charismatic cast of supporting customers. Echo Generation by Coco Cucumber. This game will be coming in 2021 as a turn-based adventure game about a gang of kids investigating supernatural occurrences in their town. Complete quests, battle monsters, and level up your party to save your hometown. Exomecha by Twisted Red in 2021. It's going to be a free-to-play online competitive first-person shooter that takes place in Omeka, a new and untouched planet with exotic environments. It offers breathtaking gaming experience with flexible playing style, mechs, unique gadgets and abilities, as well as boss battles. It's an immersive experience with team-based large-scale battles, a unique battle royale game mode, not another. Some of these I am reading for the first time, so for example this one. As well as an objective-based game mode, so not purely battle royale. Hello Neighbor 2, Tiny Build Games, Eerie Guest. It's a stealth horror game where you're being stalked by a mysterious creature as you try to track down Mr. Peterson, the neighbour who disappeared after the events of the first game. Play against an advanced self-learning AI that tracks and adapts to your every move. Watch Dogs Legion by Ubisoft. Watch Dogs Legion delivers a never-before-seen gameplay innovation that allows you to recruit and play as anyone you see in the iconic city of London. Every single character in the world is playable, and everyone has a backstory, personality, and skill set to help you personalise your own unique team. Recruit friends and join the fight in online multiplayer to take back London in 4-player co-op missions. This is going to be a fairly long episode. Sorry, I just realised we're almost on the 40-minute mark. This is probably going to be close to the hour mark, I believe. Okay, no, actually, it shouldn't be. Just a few more things to run through. So, this is just going to be a list of games that are optimised for Xbox Series X. So, Forza Horizon 4, Holiday 2020, Gears 5, Holiday 2020, Gears Tactics, Holiday 2020, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Holiday 2020, and Sea of Thieves, Holiday 2020. As expected. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Holiday 2020. However, it will launch on Xbox One November 17th. Bright Memory Infinite. We don't have a date, but it's by Playism. And an all-new lightning fast 60 FPS 4K Ultra HD resolution. Fusion of the FPS and action genres. Call of Duty by Raw Fury will also be using DirectX ray tracing at 60 FPS in 4K resolution. Chorus will also be ready. Dirt 5 will also have it. Madden NFL, which is launching on Xbox One on August 25th, will be done. We'll have Series X optimization in Holiday 2020. Scarlet Nexus from Bandai Namco Entertainment will also have it. Scorn will have it. Second Extinction will have it. The Ascent, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, as already stated, Watch Dogs Legion, which is going to be launching on Xbox One on October 29th with smart delivery, as well as Yakuza Like a Dragon. Now, ID Xbox also has some console launch exclusives that will be coming, so things like Warhammer 40,000, Dark Tide, Tetris Effect Connected, Big Gunk, as well as some more. So, there are going to be some games that are coming exclusively to Xbox, or at least first coming to Xbox and Series X. So, that's everything for that. That was a very long list. I did not realise that was going to take me that long to go through everything. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'll go through these very quickly. There's not really much to say. So, code in macOS Big Sur suggests Face ID could be going to Macs. They found a small amount of code that suggests macOS Big Sur will have Face ID, as there will be a true depth camera system which would allow this to occur. Now, the references including extension with code, support a Pearl camera function. Now, Pearl is the code name that Apple has used for Face ID and True Depth since the feature first launched in the iPhone X. There are also face detect and bio-capture references inside the extension. Now, they currently use Touch ID on MacBook Pro and MacBook Air and have a Touch ID button built into the keyboard that's powered by the T2 chips in the machines. Not a huge fan of T2 chips, massive fan of Touch ID. Just as much. Don't forget, I'm also not a fan of Samsung Knox. I hate anything kind of like that. Anyway, Apple's Macs have supported Touch ID since 2016 when the Touch Bar was first introduced in MacBook Pro models. We have no idea when this will happen, and this is just a rumour, so do take it with a pinch of salt. And our second one, which is a rumour, but it's slightly more substantiated because it's from Samsung themselves, albeit accidentally. And they confirmed the next earbuds. So it will be Galaxy Buds Live as the official name, and there will finally be support for ANC, or active noise cancellation. There's a brief guide on how to wear the uniquely shaped earbuds, as they will be shaped like a bean, and they'll also have touch controls. Set to toggle active noise cancellation by default, but the touch controls can also be disabled if you don't like them. There's going to be a Find My Earbuds setting, as well as equalizer options, standard features for headphones like these. This is a fairly official reveal. However, there's also a leaked marketing video, which also shows the earbuds in action, as well as images of the headphones themselves and their charging case. Instruction video found in Samsung's Android APK shows how to put the Buds Live into your ear to ensure a proper fit. So, when the future also has some supposedly new information as well, it will have a $170 US price, 4.5 hours of estimated battery life, 3 mics, sorry, quite late where I am, and 12nm drivers. I've added more pictures, and there are also some more pictures of the upcoming headphones. Note, this story comes from The Verge, so Wind Future just has more details as well. They're expected to announce it on August 5th, when they will announce the Galaxy Note 20, as well as a possible Galaxy Z Fold 2. So that's not the Z Flip, that's the original folding device that Samsung announced early last year and shipped late last year. Yeah, that's everything for today. Sorry it's been such a long episode. If you're wondering though, then just as a quick recap for what's going on with the podcast, 3 new channels: Digital Dive for deep into technical information, Android Analysis for deep into Android information, and Apple Analysis for things related to Apple. There's also a new website, dynamicdigitalworld.co.uk. A link will be in the description to that website. Hope you've all enjoyed today's episode. My name is Luke, this is for Dynamic Digital World, and thank you for listening.